Hare Krishna Mataji, are you able to see the screen, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. I can see the screen and I can see Mataji also. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So we are supposed to start this section. So working in pure devotional service. So 18.56. Sarvakani api sada kurvano madhyapashrayah mat prasadat avapnoti shashvatam padam avyayam. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my devotees under my protection reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, Mad Vipapashrayaha means under the protection of the Supreme Lord. Directions of the Lord or spiritual master rid one of material contamination. So, because of the spiritual master, do we come into knowledge that this material world is a place of contamination and it is miserable and it is painful. Otherwise, the living entities, they don't know. They think that this material world is a comfortable place to live in. So that's why we need a spiritual master to make us understand that this material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Right? Without the spiritual master, we don't even know that. We think everything is so comfortable here. Why should I die? And all. They never think that it is like a place of misery. They think it's a place of comfort. So I have a big house. I have my family members. I have wealth. I have property. So they think that I'm comfortably placed, but they don't know this material world is a place of dukkhalayam. It is said by Krishna himself. A pure devotee is engaged day and night acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord. The Lord is very merciful on such a devotee. He places him ultimately in Krishna Loka. This transcendental abode is changeless, eternal, imperishable, full of knowledge and blissful. Okay, such a devotee, Krishna likes him very much and he takes him back with him to Krishna Loka. Okay, so what is the nature of the same shloka they're explaining? What is the nature or quality of service? So the devotee has no time limitation for a pure devotee. He is always 24 hours engaged in the service of the Lord. And how is the Krishna Loka? The nature of the abode is unchangeable. It is eternal and imperishable, and it is full of bliss. And significance of Mada Vyapashrayo. So that means under the protection of the Lord. So how does the Lord give protection? A pure devotee acts under the direction of the Supreme Lord or his representative. So when we act like how the spiritual master guides us, then he gives us complete protection. So under the guidance of the spiritual master, we start chanting, we read Prabhupada books, and we start hearing Vaishnava lectures, and we start doing devotional service. So because of which Krishna gives protection and he takes us back to Krishna Loka. And here Krishna is also saying, I personally protect my devotee from all reactions and lead him directly to my, I'm not able to see this abode. Supreme abode, sorry. And then, though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee is always under my protection. He reaches the eternal abode by my grace. 18.57 Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhi yogam upashritya matchittaha satatam bhava. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here, in all activities, just depend upon me and work on my protection. Okay. So in Krishna consciousness, One acts just like a servant. A servant has no individual independence, acting only on the order of the master. He is unaffected by profit and loss. Following the dictums of Bhagavad Gita is acting under the personal direction of Krishna. As that order of Krishna comes through disciplic succession from the bona fide spiritual master, therefore the spiritual master's order should be taken as the prime duty of life. Mat Paraha means one's goal in life is acting in Krishna consciousness to satisfy the Supreme. He contemplates on nothing but Krishna. So doing his life becomes perfected in Krishna consciousness. Offering results of something done improperly is not devotional service. So whatever activity we do, we should do it for the satisfaction of Krishna, but not to please our senses. We should do it to please Krishna. So we should do our duty to our 100% and offer the results to Krishna. So leave the result to Krishna, but not for our sense gratification. And in the last line, they're saying offering results of something done improperly is not devotional service. So it's not that you, whatever you do, and then you say, I'm offering it to Krishna. No, whatever is said in the told by the spiritual master or by the Shastras, that you do as an offering, I mean, to Krishna, not whatever comes to your mind. Okay. See, devotee's mode of dependence. So we can see that Draupadi in the PPT shows she's totally, at the time, we can see that she was first initially dependent on, she asked Bhishma Deva to save him, and then Dronacharya, then she asks her five husbands to protect her. But all of them, she even asked Gandhari, she even asked Dhritarashtra, but nobody could be of any help. But at the final time, what did she do? She totally lifted her hands up and then said, "Oh Krishna, oh Govinda, you're the only one who can give me protection." So the devotees are dependent completely on the protection of Krishna. Okay, devotees' mode of dependence. In all activities, they just depend on me. Work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. Okay, so the devotee, whatever be the reason, be it happiness or difficulty, they always share it with the Lord. They always remember Lord. 58. Mच्चित्तः सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि अत चेत्त्वम् अहङ्कारान् न श्रोष्यसि vinakshasi. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditional life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So Krishna is saying one simple thing. Just do whatever you're doing, do it as an offering to me. But don't do it for your self. If you do it for yourself, you will be lost. You will be, what do you say? You'll be moving in this cycle of birth and death, because when you do it for your sense gratification, you have to suffer or enjoy the good or bad karma. You have to come back to this material world. So you will be moving in this cycle of birth and death. So there you will not get liberated. The only way you can get liberated from this material world is by practicing Krishna consciousness. Whatever activity you do it to please Krishna. So do your duty to the 100% and leave the results to Krishna. So a fully Krishna conscious person is not over anxious about executing his daily duties. Lord becomes his most intimate friend, takes care of his comforts, surrendering himself to the devotee. This freedom from anxiety is a great boon for a devotee. So the devotee is never worried. He knows that Krishna is there to protect him in all situations. So he's not worried about his comforts or anything. Whatever he wants, he knows that if Krishna so desires, I will get it. Otherwise, if it doesn't come, also he is not sad. because he understands that Krishna, maybe I don't need it, that's why Krishna is not giving it to me. Okay, so he's free from anxiety. So he just takes complete shelter of Krishna. Okay, so whatever comes his way, he understands that it is Krishna's plan and he takes it up. So this freedom from anxiety is a great boon. That's why they don't have any anxiety. They're free. And that's why they're always, devotees are always happy. They know, like, if it is not coming, okay, Krishna doesn't like it, so that's okay. And if it comes, they thank Krishna. Okay, whatever be the reason, they're not worried at all. So, this freedom from anxiety is a great boon for the devotee. For one who acts in Krishna consciousness, Lord Krishna becomes the most intimate friend. Okay? No one should be carried away from away by the false ego of the bodily concept of life. Should not think himself to be independent of the laws of material nature to act freely. Not situating oneself in Krishna consciousness, one is bewildered in the material whirlpool in the ocean of birth and death. In conditioned life, one does not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. In Krishna consciousness is prompted by Krishna within and the spiritual master from outside. So, in conditioned life, when we think that we are the body, so we have no control over our body. So we don't know what we are doing or what to do, what not to do, because we are totally under the control of Maya. So Maya, through the three gunas, it makes the body act like a puppet. So nothing is in our hands. But when you start practicing Krishna consciousness, you are guided by Krishna or by the spiritual master. Okay, from outside, from inside by Krishna as Paramatma, and outside by spiritual master. So with their guidance, we can get liberated from this material world. Okay, the same thing is being said here. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles. So you will, they're showing that you will overcome the obstacles, means you will be liberated and you will come over this cycle of birth and death. Otherwise, what will happen? You will be bound and lost in the material world. Right? Casey is free of all anxieties, not unduly anxious about executing the duties of his existence. Okay, he does not worry, oh, I have to over endeavor, I have to live a comfortable life, I have to earn more money. So he's not worried about all that. So whatever Krishna gives him, he's just happy with that. So Krishna becomes his friend and looks after his comfort. So Casey person is liberated and free to act because everything is prompted by Krishna from within and confirmed by spiritual master. Otherwise, conditioned soul is always under strict laws of nature. Okay. 59. Yat ahankaram ashritya nayotsya iti manyase mityaisha vyavasayaste vyava, vyavasayaste prakritistvam niyokshati. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So Krishna is telling, see, if you telling Arjuna that if you don't fight under my direction, then anyway, what is your swabhava? Parya nature, you're a Kshatriya and a Grihastha. So your duty is to fight. So anyway, you will have to fight. Right? It's better you act under my direction. Then there'll be no karma. But if you, I mean, like anyway, because you're a Kshatriya, finally you have to fight. If you fight, it will be for your sense gratification. That becomes good or bad karma. Right? So you'll be, you'll not be liberated. You'll be roaming in this cycle of birth and death. That's what Krishna is telling. See, as a Kshatriya by nature, Arjuna's duty was to fight, so was covered by false ego. So he feared killing his teacher, grandfather, friends. He would incur sinful reactions. So he thought that if I kill them, I will get sin. He was falsely considering himself the master of his actions. He seemed to have forgotten that. So he's thinking he's the master, And he's trying to behave that way, saying that, okay, if I kill, I will get sinful reactions. But at that moment, he forgot one instruction. I mean, he seemed to have forgotten that the one instructing him to fight was the Supreme Lord. So he forgot that Krishna is the Supreme Lord because of illusion or whatever. He forgot that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and Krishna is telling him to act, fight, right, according to his orders. So his behavior was exactly like that of a conditioned soul. The Lord knows what is good and what is bad, right? Because see, he's behaving. How does a conditioned soul behave? He goes against. See, super soul from inside says this is wrong. Don't do it, but still we do it, right? So like that, here Krishna is telling Arjuna to fight, but he's saying no, no, I don't want to fight. If I kill my relatives, it is sin. Okay, but we should understand that Krishna, he knows what is good or bad for us. So Lord knows what is good and what is bad. So one has to simply act in Krishna consciousness and attain the perfection of life. So no one knows about one's destiny as the Supreme Lord. And because we don't know, as conditioned souls, we don't know what our future holds for us. But Krishna, he knows our past, he knows our present and the future. So it's better we hand over our life in the hands of Krishna. Okay, the same thing is being said here. Okay. Okay, 60. Swabhavajena kaunteya nibaddaha svena karmana kartum nechasi yanmohad karishyasi avasho api tat. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji, thank you, Hare Krishna. Under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction, but compelled by the work born of your own nature, you will act all the time, O son of Kunti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction, but compelled by the work born of your nature, you will act the same. So, Krishna is saying, see, if you fight thinking of me, that will be akarma. But if you don't work for me, and anyway, your swabhava as a kshatriya is to fight, right? You anyway have to fight. But Krishna is saying, do it to please me, not for your sense gratification. Because he's what is Arjuna thinking? Like, if I kill, I will get sin. So he's thinking from his sense gratification perspective, right? He's saying, if I kill, they will all die. So he's trying to be good, right? So he's neglecting the order of Krishna. So he's trying to portray that he's doing a good thing. For his sense gratification, he is doing. Oh, I'm trying to be good to everybody. Okay, but Krishna is saying, see, if you do not follow my orders, you will be, anyway, what? If you don't follow my orders, by your swabhava, you will be compelled to follow orders of lower nature. So anyone results is anyone who voluntarily engages in himself under the direction of the Supreme Lord, obviously he becomes glorious. And if you refuse the Supreme Lord's order, you will be he'll be in the stuck up in the material world. So he gets compelled to act by the modes. So the modes govern. So you are either in this material world, you're either in the direction of Krishna or Maya. So if you listen to Krishna, you will get liberated from this material world. If you listen to Maya, we have to act as a puppet in the by the three modes, and we'll be in bondage in this material world. So earlier class we saw that confidential knowledge is about knowing about the impersonal Brahman. So now more confidential knowledge means from the impersonal Brahman we are shifting to Paramatma, the second stage of God realization. So this is more confidential. So surrender to super soul. ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशे अर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामायं सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. The Supreme Lord, so, is there as Paramatma. Along with the soul in this body is the Paramatma. So, whatever the soul is doing, he as Paramatma, he's seeing. As Paramatma, he observes. He witnesses what are the activities the soul is doing. But where the advice is required, where forgetfulness is required, where remembrance is required, the super soul gives the soul everything. He guides from inside. So Arjuna was not the supreme knower. Obviously, he knows only the pains and pleasures of his body, but the super soul, he knows the pains and pleasures of every living entity, right? Every living body. So the supreme knower is the Lord. So the super soul knows everything. His confusion whether to fight or not was confined to his limited discretion. So Krishna exists as a super soul. He sits locally in the heart of every living being. Changing bodies life after life, the living entity forgets his past deeds. Super soul is the superknower of the past, present, and future. He remains as a witness of all activities of living entities, gives the living entity what he deserves, and is carried by the material body. So, he gives the remembrance and forgetfulness that is needed for him to continue with this body, new body. Because last Janma, he must have had some desires and he left his body. So, but when the jiva takes the body in the next janma, he forgets. He cannot remember anything after death. And when he comes into the new body, he does not remember anything. So, Krishna as super soul is also there, right? Along with the jiva soul. So, he gives the remembrance. See, this is what you wanted to do in your last janma, but you had this desire, you couldn't do. So, he gives the remembrance what has to be done, like now you are but that desire he will guide. So this he gives as much remembrance or forgetfulness that is needed for him to continue his desire. Okay, so no sooner a living entity is placed in a particular type of body, so he starts working to the requirements of the new body because the super soul guides him. See, example, a person seated in a high speed motorboat goes faster than one seated in a slower car, though the living entities and the drivers may be the same. Okay, even though the soul is same, if he sits in a fast speed car, he will go fast, obviously. The same soul, if he sits, the same driver, if he sits in a slower car, the speed will reduce, obviously. Okay, so the Supreme Soul, though through material nature, designs a specific type of body for the living entity to work according to his past desires. So he gets a body for his past desires. That's what they're trying to say. Okay, it gives a material nature gives a particular type of body according to his past desires. 62. Tam eva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Madaji, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Madaji. O Sion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So Krishna is saying, you surrender unto me, then you will get eternal peace. Don't act by your independence. So surrender unto me, you will come back to me. So a living entity is never independent. He should therefore surrender unto Krishna, situated in everybody's heart as Paramatma. So such surrenderance will relieve him from all kinds of miseries of this material existence. He will reach the supreme abode ultimately. 1863. Iti te gnanam आख्यातं गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया विमृश्यैतद् अशेषेण यथैच्छसि तथा कुरु. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thus, I have explained to you the most confidential of all knowledge. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So now, we'll see. In the Brahmabhuta condition, being joyful, never lamenting, not desires anything in the confidential knowledge, also includes the superior knowledge. So first, Krishna gave confidential knowledge, that is about impersonal Brahman. Okay, Brahmabhuta condition means impersonal Brahman. Now, next he gave what? More superior knowledge than that. What is that? About the super soul. So more confidential is knowledge of the super soul of Paramatma. And then now Yatechasi Tata Kuru means as you like, you may act. Now Krishna, he is telling about everything. And he's telling Arjuna, see, I've given you all this confidential, more confidential, everything, all the knowledge I've given you. Now it's up to you. So Krishna, he gives that freedom. He does not force anybody. Okay, he always says, act to please me, then you'll be liberated. Otherwise, it'll be a bondage. You'll not be liberated. Okay, so he gives all that knowledge, and then he says, now Arjuna, it's up to you whether you want to fight or not. So God does not interfere with the little dependence of the living entity. So one can elevate his living condition by surrendering unto the super soul seated within. Surrender to the Supreme Lord is the best interest of the in the best interest of the living entities, not the Lord. So when we surrender, it is not some profit for the Lord. Lord is not waiting for us. I mean, like he does not need our service or something. He is the Lord of the both the material and spiritual worlds. He has so many servants to serve him. Okay, by surrendering, it is an advantage for us, right? But the living entities, they can get liberated and they can live blissfully in the spiritual world by serving the Lord. So Arjuna is being directly ordered by the personality of Godhead to fight. So indirectly, Krishna is saying, "You work for me. That is the best thing for you." Okay, now Krishna gives the most confidential knowledge. What is that? Means what? The third stage of God realization Krishna gives. That is Bhagavan Krishna. सर्वगुह्यतमं भूयः शृणु मे परमं वचः इष्टो असि मे दृढम् इति ततो वाक्ष्यामि हे हितम्. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here, the Lord has given Arjuna knowledge that is confidential. It is about impersonal Brahman. Then he has given still more confidential knowledge of the super soul within everyone's heart. Now he is giving the most confidential part of the knowledge. What is that? Just surrender unto Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna as Bhagavan. Okay, so finally, yes, that is the most confidential part, Krishna as the two-handed form. So just surrender unto him. So verse BG 9.34, mana means mind. Just always think inside. Just think of me always. To stress upon the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So this is understood by one who is actually very dear to Krishna, pure devotee of Krishna. So is the most important instruction of all Vedic literature. This Krishna's most essential part of knowledge to be carried out by all living entities. So Krishna is saying, surrender to Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the ultimate instruction for Arjuna. So Krishna is saying Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. So that is the most confidential. Okay. See, Guhyataram. Guhya, confidential knowledge is Brahman. Guhyatara is more confidential knowledge, that is about super soul. And what is the most confidential knowledge is surrender unto Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. 65. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosimi. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Always think of me and become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here what is Krishna saying? Just always think of me. However, I mean, any work you're doing, just think of me either by chanting or reading or hearing a pastime or doing devotional service. Always think of me and become my devotee. Okay, worship me, do puja and do deity worship. That means, okay, and offer your homage. Means homage means do dandavat to me, right? So if you do all this, you will definitely come back to me. So becoming a pure devotee of Krishna, always thinking and acting for him is the most confidential knowledge, right? So we should meditate on Krishna as Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's personal. He has a form. So our activity should be so planned that we always have thinking of Krishna. All his daily activities must be in connection with Krishna. Lord promises such a soul return to the abode of Krishna. Here he will be engaged in the association of Krishna face to face. Arjuna was spoken of this knowledge as he is the dear friend of Krishna. Others following this can aspire the same status as Arjuna. It is emphasized that one should concentrate his mind on beautiful bluish faced Krishna with two hands carrying a flute and a peacock feather in his hair. Okay, so what Prabhupada is saying and the purport is we should just focus on Krishna as his two-handed form, on his bluish, beautiful bluish faced Krishna, right? We should just meditate only on Krishna. And what else does Prabhupada say? See, next. One should not even divert his attention to any other forms of the Lord. See, actually, the Lord has multiple forms as Vishnu, Narayana, Rama, Varaha. So Prabhupada is saying we should not even go to all these different forms also. A devotee of Krishna should concentrate his mind only on the form that was present before Arjuna, that is Krishna. Right? So Prabhupada is saying don't even worship the Narayana or Vishnu or avatars or Rama, Varaha. Don't go for anything else. Just meditate directly on the beautiful form of two-handed form of Krishna. So concentration of the mind on the form of Krishna constitutes the most confidential part of knowledge. And this is disclosed to Arjuna because Arjuna is a dear friend of Krishna. So that's why Krishna, he disclosed this most confidential knowledge to Arjuna because he's a dear friend and a devotee of Krishna. So he's telling, focus only on Krishna. That's all, not even his other forms. Just focus on the beautiful form of Krishna. That's it. 66. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam praja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Yes, Mataji. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So now Krishna is saying, now earlier chapters he said, do this Ashtanga yoga, do this Karma yoga, do this, all kinds of work he said. Now finally what he's telling, leave all that. This is for a pure devotee. So leave all that, just surrender unto me. Like how Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj, right? They dedicated their whole life for Krishna. So if you just surrender unto me, Krishna is saying, I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. So don't do any dharma, means any work. Just dedicate your life, work for me only. Okay, surrender unto me. I will deliver you from all sinful reaction. See, the Lord has described various kinds of knowledge and processes of religion. like knowledge of the Supreme Brahman, knowledge of the Super Soul. He said knowledge of different types of orders and statuses of social life, like how a Brahmana should work, like how a Kshatriya should work, how a Sudra should work, and Vaishya should work. And knowledge of the renounced order of life, knowledge of non attachment, sense and mind control, meditation. So he gave all this in the previous chapters we saw. He has described different types of religion. But now the Lord tells Arjuna that he should give up all the processes that have been explained to him earlier. Simply what he has to do now? Surrender to Krishna and get his divine protection against all kinds of sinful reactions. So one cannot take to the process of surrender unless he is rid of sinful reactions. Simply by the process of surrendering to Sri Krishna, one is automatically freed of sinfulness. The process of surrender to Krishna is described in the Hari Bhakti Vilas 11.6.6. आनुकूलस्य संकल्पः प्रतिकूल्यस्य वर्जनं रक्षिष्यति विश्वासो रक्षिष्यति इति विश्वासो गोप्तृत्वे वरणं तथा आत्मनिक्षेपकर्पण्ये षड्विधा शरणागतिः. So what are they saying? This is how we should surrender. Right? One should simply accept such religious principles that will lead ultimately to devotional service of the Lord. By performing a particular occupational duty according to his position and social order, if one does not come to the point of Krishna consciousness, then all is vain. So what Krishna is saying, okay, you do para Brahmana, you will do your duty, everything, or a Kshatriya, you do your duty. But by doing such duties, if you do not come to the point of accepting Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what is the use of such kind of work? Krishna is saying, whatever you have done is all in vain. So anything that does not lead to Krishna consciousness should be avoided. So one should be confident that in all circumstances, Krishna will protect him from all difficulties. One's effort should not be limited to keeping the body and soul together. Okay, oneself helpless. Uh, one should oneself helpless without Krishna's grace and sanction. See, we should feel helpless that without Krishna's grace and sanction, I'm nothing. So we should just not stay on the material platform where I learn more, get more attached to family members, get more property, wealth, name, fame. So we should not keep ourselves limited to just the body. Okay, so Krishna is saying we should try to be helpless, like how Draupadi, right? She was helpless and she depended on the shelter of Krishna. She surrendered to Krishna, and Krishna protected her, right? So he at once becomes freed from all contaminations of material nature. So if you take shelter of Krishna or practice Krishna consciousness, there is every chance that you will get liberated from this material world. There are different processes of religion and purificatory processes. These include cultivation of knowledge, that is Jnana Yoga, meditation on the mystic yoga means Ashtanga Yoga. So one who surrenders unto Krishna does not have to execute these. So Krishna is saying all this is not required. If you just surrender to me, you don't have to practice Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, everything. Just anyway, after doing all these, finally you have to come to Bhakti Yoga. So, why you do that now itself? You surrender. You surrender to me. Practice Bhakti Yoga. Okay. So, simple surrenderance unto Krishna will save him from unnecessarily wasting time. See, if you follow that yoga ladder, like first Karma Kandi, then Sakama Karma Yoga, then Nishkama Karma Yoga, then Jnana Yoga, then Ashtanga Yoga, and then Bhakti Yoga. So many janmas you have to take if you go in that progressive stage. But Krishna is saying, see, just take directly to Bhakti Yoga when you know that after many, many janmas, you have to finally take Bhakti Yoga. Then take Bhakti Yoga now. Just surrender to me. Okay, one can make thus progress at once and be free from sinful reactions. So one should be attracted by the beautiful vision of Krishna. So Krishna means, well, the meaning of Krishna means is he's all attractive. So one attracted by the beautiful, all-powerful, omnipotent vision of Krishna is fortunate. There are different kinds of transcendentalists, some attached to impersonal Brahman or some to the super soul. But one who is attracted to the personal feature of Supreme Lord as Krishna himself is the most perfect transcendentalist. Okay, even though the impersonal Brahman and super soul, they are Krishna himself, expansions of Krishna himself, but still Krishna is saying surrendering to the personal form of Krishna. That is, who surrenders, he is the most perfect transcendentalist. The devotional service to Krishna in full consciousness is the most confidential part. So he's saying surrender to Krishna as Bhagavan. So that is the highest, most confidential knowledge. Of all transcendentalists, the karma yogis, empiric philosophers, mistake a pure devotee is the best of all. So see, finally Krishna is telling of the karma yogi or gnana yogi or ashtanga yogi, a pure devotee, a bhakta yogi. He is the best of all, Krishna is saying. So why should we unnecessarily waste many janmas doing karma yoga, gnana yoga, ashtanga yoga? Why all that? Karma kandis. So don't do all that. The Lord says, Ma Shuchaha. He's giving that assurance. Don't fear, don't hesitate, don't worry. Krishna himself is saying that. He says, don't be bewildered. How to give up all kinds of religious forms. Right? Just surrender. Worry is useless. Okay? The same thing. Now, 67. Idam te nata paskaya na na bhaktaya kadachana na cha ashushrusave vachyam na cha mam yo abhyasuyati abhyasuyati. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. This confidential knowledge may not be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So Krishna is telling this confidential knowledge because nowadays, if you see, people think Krishna, God is impersonal. They are so much bent upon this concept. That's why this Krishna is specifically saying this is the most confidential knowledge. So you go to many people and we ask them during book distribution, we tell them to accept Krishna as the supreme personality of God. They say, what do they say? Yeah, we accept. See, Krishna, see, that photo is there. And along with Krishna, we can see all different gods. Shiva will be there, Ganesha will be there, all Brahma will be there, Kartikeya will be there. It means what is their understanding? They think, yeah, we accept Krishna also as God, Shiva also as Supreme Personality of God, Brahma is also Supreme Personality of God. They won't accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all the other demigods are his servants. They don't accept like that. They'll say, yeah, Krishna is also God, Shiva is also God. So they believe in the concept that a concept of impersonal Brahman. So the Lord has no form. So we can just imagine any form and everybody is God. Nowadays, that is the fad, I should say. Everybody, they believe in this impersonal concept. God has no form, He is energy, light, and anybody can be accepted as God. But nobody ever accepts Krishna as a supreme personality. They say, yeah, Krishna is also God, Shiva is also God. They'll have their altar will be full of deities. I mean, all photos in different times. So that's why Krishna is saying, accepting Krishna as the supreme personality of God, that is the most confidential knowledge. And this knowledge cannot be understood by everybody. That's why Krishna is saying, only those who are austere or devoted, means devotees only can understand, or those who are practicing devotional service, they can understand. Those who are envious of me, jealous of me, they cannot understand. So that's why to understand the Bhagavad Gita, to understand Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, like Arjuna, we should try to become a a devotee and a friend. So only, and we should not be envious. That is the main thing. Okay. So then we can understand the Bhagavad Gita as it is. So all persons should not be told. See, that's why Krishna is telling everybody should not be told this most confidential part of knowledge. This includes people who are not austere, people who have never attempted devotional service in Krishna consciousness, not in association with a pure devotee who knows him as only a person in history. So see, many people they think Krishna is like a politician or he's a king or he's a great fighter, okay, something great, but he's still a person, they think, but not as God. Yeah, he's a famous personality, that's all. So, one envious of the greatness of Krishna cannot understand the Bhagavad Gita. So, sensuous people and non devotees cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. Sensuous means materialistic people, right? Who have more material desires, they can't understand. And non devotees also, obviously, they can't understand. Atheists or Mayavadis, they cannot understand the Bhagavad Gita. So, actually, the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita is not understandable to those who are sensuous, materialistic people who have desires. So, even a devotee not involved in Krishna conscious activities cannot understand Krishna, right? So, he should do devotional service, then only he can understand Krishna. So Krishna is envied because why do people envy Krishna? Because Bhagavad Gita says he is supreme. So nothing is above him or equal to him. But generally people they don't believe this. Why Krishna is the supreme? They don't understand. So nothing is above him or equal to him. So but faithless people cannot understand Bhagavad Gita and Krishna. Right? So, without understanding Krishna from the authority of pure devotee, one should not try to comment on the Bhagavad Gita. See, nowadays we see many Bhagavad Gitas coming, like there are around 700 to 800 Bhagavad Gitas. So, everybody, even a IIT professor, he writes about Bhagavad Gita. He thinks he has that knowledge to write the Bhagavad Gita. But all the Bhagavad Gitas, most of the Bhagavad Gitas that are there, the authors who have written them, they think from their point of view. They don't think from the point of view of Krishna and write the Gita. It is more like their Gita. They put in their philosophy, their concepts, and they use the heading as Bhagavad Gita. They say Krishna's book, but they in that they put their comments and their intentions in that. So how can it become Bhagavad Gita? It becomes their Gita because it is their philosophy that they are writing. So many Bhagavad Gitas they touch on the philosophy, but they don't impose that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So they leave Krishna and they explain every philosophy. Okay, so that's what Krishna is saying. Without understanding Krishna, that's why we have to learn the Bhagavad Gita from a bona fide guru who comes in that guru parampara, like from Krishna, how Krishna spoke to Brahma, Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasamani, and like that from Narada Muni to our own very Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. So we should learn it from a devotee, like from that guru parampara, who has come from that guru parampara. Right, we should not artificially try to comment. They think these IIT professors or they think they're very intelligent. They can understand the Bhagavad Gita. No, but they have to become a devotee to understand Krishna. Only such people can write the like all the acharyas in our parampara, right? And Prabhupada, so he can write. That's why he read Srila Prabhupada. He read all the Bhagavad Gitas and he was not satisfied. That's the reason he had to write the Bhagavad Gita again and name it as it is. And that Bhagavad Gita is selling millions of copies because of its purity. There are no additions or subtractions. Now, if you see, the most worldwide sold Bhagavad Gita is of Prabhupada, written by Srila Prabhupada. Okay, that Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita is so famous because it retains its purity. What instructions are given by Krishna, it is as it is, not the author's what he thinks about Bhagavad Gita, not that, like that. 18 or 6:8. Ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhidhasyati bhakti mai param kritva Mam evaishyati ashamshayah. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end, he will come back to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here Krishna is saying, one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees. Like when we preach the Bhagavad Gita, right? That is what we are doing actually. So we are saying, we are telling the supreme secret. What is that? Worship Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. So the devotees who are preaching that, their Krishna is saying, at the end he will come back to me. Those who say, because generally people don't preach Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. They say that yeah, Krishna is also God, Lord Shiva is also God, supreme personality of Godhead. So their understanding is God is impersonal. So anybody can be, that is what they preach nowadays, even through the Bhagavad Gita. That's why they don't bring the concept that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. But those devotees who preach that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna is saying, such people, such devotees will definitely, they will come back to me. Okay. So 18.69. Okay. न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन् मे प्रियकृत्तमः भविता न च मे तस्माद् अन्यः प्रियतरो भुवि. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there be ever one more dear. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So Krishna is telling those who preach that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So he will, I will definitely take him to my loka, and there is no more dearer devotee to me than a person who is preaching that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Now let's see. So Bhagavad Gita should be explained to persons who are ready to accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. It is meant for devotees only and not for philosophical speculators. See now, philosophical means they think that the people in the material world, they think that they're very talented, intelligent. If they think that I've attained IIT or some great post, they think that they can write anything. They're so talented. That is not the qualification. What use is your material intelligence? That intelligence is after all given by Krishna, right? It is material, and material knowledge means what? It will have four imperfections, right? So we are not perfect. As human beings, we have defects, we cannot see properly, everything, we make mistakes. So we have all these four defects. So what perfectly we can write, right? So that's why we should accept the Bhagavad Gita, which has come from Parampara directly from Krishna. What Krishna has written, that is what the acharyas are passing on. So we should have faith in them and not these many people, they believe the IIT people, professor who has written that Bhagavad Gita. They think these people are ultimate talented people and they know everything. We should not be fooled by such people. So that's what Krishna is saying, Prabhupada is saying. See, it is meant for devotees only and not for philosophical speculators. Those who see Bhagavad Gita as a book of philosophy, for them it is of no use. They will, that is no use. You just, because for the philosophy, if you want to learn, it is of no use. The Bhagavad Gita is like for devotees who want to worship and do devotional service, who want to love Krishna. Okay, and that is why they should understand the Bhagavad Gita and change their life so that they can practice devotional service, serve Krishna, and get back to him. Okay, anyone presenting Bhagavad Gita as it is sincerely will advance in devotional activities and reach the pure devotional state of life. He is sure to go back home, back to Godhead. 18.70. अध्येष्यते च य इमं धर्म्यं संवादम् आवयोः ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टः स्याम् इति मे मतिः. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation worship me by his intelligence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Krishna is telling those who will understand and read our conversation, like between Arjuna and Krishna, I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation worships me by his intelligence. Because obviously, a devotee only will read the Bhagavad Gita, right? And then he can understand the conversation between Arjuna, who is a pure devotee, and Krishna. And definitely, such a devotee who is reading the Bhagavad Gita, he will definitely start worshipping. He will start chanting Krishna's names. He will start reading Prabhupada books and hearing Vaishnava speeches of Krishna's pastimes, and he'll start doing devotional service. Okay. 18.7.1. Shraddhavan anusuyascha shrunuyad api yo naraha so api muktah shubhalokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reaction and attains to the planets where the pious dwell. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here we can see the PPT Prabhupada is instructing his disciples over there, right? So actually the Americans, they're considered nature, right? Even just by hearing the Bhagavad Gita, they became so pure. They're so like into intoxicated. They never used to follow the four regulative principles. So just by hearing Bhagavad Gita from a pure devotee of Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, their whole lives changed. All of us know how American people are, right? They eat meat, they drink intoxicants, they have illicit sex, right? All the bad habits they have. But just by hearing Bhagavad Gita, as it is from a pure devotee, their whole lives changed. They were like having shika. Generally, one reporter asked Prabhupada, "See, we've seen many Swamijis coming, and they generally do some miracles, but we have never seen you doing any miracle." Then Prabhupada says, "I have done the miracle whom nobody has done." See, these American people, they are natures. They're so much into all these. They break all these four regulative principles. So I've changed them. See, they've become so pure now. Now they have a shika, and they're following all the Sanatan Dharma. Then they've left eating meat. They've left all this. See, that is the purity of a devotee. He can, what the government could not change. They were so much into drugs actually. When Prabhupada went to the West, there was this hippie movement. They were so much into drugs. And the government was trying all possible ways to stop their drug addiction, but they could not. But Prabhupada, simply by preaching the Bhagavad Gita, introducing Krishna consciousness, he could change all of them. See how pure and bright they're appearing, all Prabhupada's disciples. Right? So that's what they're saying. See, one who listens with faith and without envy. So when you listen to the Bhagavad Gita, you should have that faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then and without envy, that envy should not be there. Okay? They become free from sinful reaction and they obviously go to Krishna Loka. Although not everyone is a devotee, they are not envious of Krishna. They have faith in him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See, Krishna, the Prabhupada is saying not everybody is envious of Krishna, right? Some devotees are there who have faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If such persons hear from a bona fide devotee about the Lord, they become rid of all their sinful reactions. Later, they reach the planetary system where all righteous persons are situated. Therefore, simply by hearing Bhagavad Gita is very auspicious. So, a pure devotee of the Lord can give everyone a chance to become a devotee of the Lord. So, that's what Prabhupada did, right? He tried to spread within the 10-year span of life, he made the whole world Krishna consciousness in every nook and corner, even the tribal people, Africa, and all those people. I mean, even in Pakistan, everywhere he established. Now, wherever you go, ISKCON is there. So we need not fear for association. So wherever we go, we have devotee association. That is what is the power of a pure devotee. He can spread Krishna consciousness. Nobody ever did. In a span of 10 years, Prabhupada, he wrote 70 volumes of books. He traveled the world 14 times preaching Krishna consciousness. So never any devotee, a pure devotee, I mean, like, could do or could preach Krishna consciousness this way or spread the Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita has come in so many languages. Okay, so a pure, that is the power of a pure devotee. Krishna empowers them. Okay, so a pure devotee of the Lord can give, see, he can give everybody a chance. So now the whole world, Prabhupada has given us a chance to be Krishna consciousness. If they don't take it, it's their fault. It's not Prabhupada's fault, right? So he a pure devotee. He could spread. Those who utilize this opportunity, they will become devotees of the Lord and go back to Krishna, right? So a pure devotee of the Lord can give everyone a chance to become a devotee of the Lord. See, actually, Prabhupada, when he was 70, generally people, they tend to retire and live happily. He was actually at 70, he was in Radha Damodar temple, he was nicely, he was doing his spirituality, everything, he could be happy actually. Why did he take the struggle of going back uh, uh, to a Mlecha place, America? Where why did he want to spread Krishna consciousness? Because a pure devotee is very compassionate. He understands that I, by taking Krishna consciousness, I am happy. So all the people in the world they're suffering. He couldn't see their suffering because they're so compassionate. So that's the reason he risked his retirement. He could have actually been in Vrindavan and happily he would have gone to God, back to Godhead. But to educate people like us, to enlighten people like us, right? He took that risks. And in the Jaladuta also, he had 2 times he got heart attack. And Prabhupada himself says, one more time, he would have definitely gone. He would have died, right? But ultimately, Prabhupada says that Krishna gave me protection. So Krishna takes care. Okay. So a pure devotee of the Lord can give everyone a chance to become a devotee of the Lord. Imagine, see, going to America, which is so materialistic, and giving spiritual touch there. How difficult is that? But it was possible because Krishna empowered Srila Prabhupada. And that too within a span of 10 years. Did anybody of us, any of us here, a pure devotee within 10 years, the whole world got spiritualized. We never heard, right? So that's the greatness of Srila Prabhupada. He's such a pure devotee that Krishna, he empowered him to preach about Krishna consciousness. So they can easily take to Krishna consciousness. Those who are righteous in performing devotional service but not pure can attain the planetary system of the pole star or Dhruva Loka where Dhruva Maharaj is residing. He is a great devotee of the Lord and he has a special planet which is called the pole star. So Prabhupada is saying, see, those who are performing devotional service but still not pure, so they can at least go to the Dhruva Loka, the pole star. So that is also a very a planet where they can enjoy. I mean, so those who are pure, obviously they'll go to Krishna Loka. But those who are not purified, they go to heavenly planets. And after their enjoyment, again they come back, they take a human birth, and they complete their. Mm, uh, they become a pure devotee, and finally they go back to Krishna Loka once they become pure. So 72. Kachid etat shrunam partha त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चित् अज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रणस् प्रणष्टस्ते धनञ्जया. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna. O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attractive mind? And are you ignorance and illusions now dispelled? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here Krishna is asking Arjuna, see now all your doubts are cleared, or you're still, I mean, like you were in ignorance, right? Thinking that you're the body and everything. So now all your doubts and everything are clear or not? Krishna is asking. So the Lord, acting as a spiritual master of Arjuna, asks him if he understood the whole Bhagavad Gita properly, whether his ignorance was dispelled. The spirit with which Krishna asked appeared as though he would not mind clarify his doubts, or if needed, he would repeat the entire entire knowledge. So Krishna was ready. If Arjuna still didn't understand, he could have explained the entire Gita again. So this is the concern and attitude of a sincere master or teacher, right? The like teacher is always ready to clear the doubts. That's why he's called Acharya, right? Acharati, he one who follows and then he tells the disciple. So um, he is ready to any number of times if the disciple doesn't understand, he is ready to explain again and again the entire Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so this is the concern. So that's why the teachers should be like that. A sincere teacher is like that. Bhagavad Gita is not an ordinary book. It is knowledge spoken by the Supreme Personality. See, it's not an ordinary book. Generally, people, they take the Bhagavad Gita just for the philosophy, right? Yeah, philosophy is also important, but devotion to Krishna, that is also important. It is the Bhagavad Gita. It is given by Krishna himself. They forget that Bhagavan himself, and they just try to take the philosophy. Then what is the use of such Bhagavad Gita where there is no Krishna, where there is no Bhagavan, right? So 18.73. So to that, what is Arjuna replying? After all, are all your doubts removed? So what is Arjuna saying here? Arjuna uvacha nashto moha smritirlabdha tvat prasadan maya chuta sthito asmi gata sandehaha karishe vachanam tava. This is important shloka. Yeah. So, Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Arjuna said, O dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy, and I am now firm and free from doubt, and am prepared to act according to your instructions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, Arjuna is telling, Oh Krishna, now you have cleared all my doubts. Now I'm free of all my doubts. By your mercy, I was able to understand the instructions that you gave. And now, as you said, I am ready to fight. Whatever you said, I am ready to act. However, you tell me, I will act. Okay, that's what the living entity has to serve. See, in this material world, we can either serve Krishna or Maya, right? We have to either serve the illusory Maya or the Supreme Lord. If he serves the Supreme Lord, he will be liberated. If he tries to serve Maya, he will be in bondage. So when a person is liberated, he voluntarily surrenders unto the Supreme and acts according to his desires. So when we start practicing Krishna consciousness and accepting Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we act to only to please Krishna, not for our satisfaction. Okay. So when we act for Krishna's satisfaction, that becomes a karma. So a liberated soul also knows the Lord is the proprietor of everything. He can give the devotee whatever he desires. He is the friend of everyone, especially inclined to his devotee. He is the controller of material nature and of all living entities. He is the controller of all inexhaustible time. He is full of all opulences and all potencies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead can give himself to the devotee. So, one who does not know him is under the spell of illusion. He does not become a devotee, he becomes a servitor of Maya. Okay, so now Krishna Arjuna is telling, yeah, Karishe Tvat Prasada, by your mercy, my illusion is gone. So now I'm free from doubt. I'm prepared to act like however you say. So now Sanjaya's predictions. Sanjaya Uvacha Iti Aham Vasudevasya Parthasya cha Mahatmanah Samvadam imam ashrausham Adbhutam Romaharshanam Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Sanjaya said, thus have I heard the conversations of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna, and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So now Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra, after he heard the whole Bhagavad Gita, the instructions that Krishna gave Arjuna, Sanjaya is saying that he is feeling so ecstatic that that his hair is standing on one end. Okay, so in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Dhritarashtra inquired from his secretary Sanjaya. See, first sloka, Dhritarashtra asked Sanjaya what happened on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So, entire study was related to the heart of Sanjaya by the grace. See, Sanjaya, Vedavyas was his spiritual master. So, by his spiritual master's grace, he was able to see the whole of the Kurukshetra war and the universal form and the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna gave Arjuna, everything he could see sitting in Hastinapur, right? So this conversation was, I don't know what, such a divine conversation between two great souls had never taken place before and will not take place in the future. So the Supreme was speaking about himself and his energies to the living entity Arjuna. So Arjuna was a great devotee of the Lord and friend of the Lord. If we follow in the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna, then our life will be happy and successful. So realizing this, Sanjaya related the conversation to Dhritarashtra. So if we want to um, understand Krishna, so we follow in the footsteps of Arjuna. So like how Arjuna understood, we should try to practice our Krishna consciousness in the same way. What did Arjuna say? Yeah, my doubts are cleared. Now I accept you as the personality of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is what we should also do. We should follow in the same footsteps of Arjuna and understand Krishna. Uh, Vyasa Shrutavan. What is this? Okay. One second. I just opened Bhagavad Gita 8.7. Vyasa Prasadat Krutavan Etad Guhyam Aham Param Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishnat Sakshat Katayatah Swayam. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. So, by the mercy of Vyasa, I've heard, okay, Sanjay is telling, see, so that's why one has to understand Krishna through the spiritual master. So Sanjaya understood the Supreme Lord by his spiritual master's mercy, Vedavyas. Okay, so meditation of the bona fide spiritual master is very important, though understanding through experience is direct. So this is the mystery, I don't know what succession. Although there are many my and yogis all over the world, but Krishna is the, okay, there may be many mystics and yogis all over the world, but Krishna is the master of all. Yoginam api sarvesham. So he is the, of all the yogis, he is the supreme yogi. So Bhagavad Gita propounds surrender unto Krishna, So one who does so is the topmost yogi. Narada is the direct disciple of Krishna and the spiritual master of Vyasa. Therefore, Vyasa is as bona fide as Arjuna because he comes in disciplic succession. Sanjaya is the direct disciple of Vyasa. So by the grace of Vyasa, he was purified. He could see and hear, or I don't know what, the Bhagavad Gita, I think. One who directly hears Krishna can understand this confidential knowledge. If one does not come to the disciplic succession, he cannot hear Krishna. See, only in that, when you come in that Guru Parampara and hear the Bhagavad Gita, can you understand about Krishna? So otherwise, you cannot understand. If you try to read Bhagavad Gita by yourself, you are imperfect, right? You're a material person. What kind of understanding you will understand when you read the Bhagavad Gita? So always take shelter of a spiritual master and who's a bona fide spiritual master who's coming from that parampara. And we have to understand like how they understood, not by our understanding. How they understood, we should try to understand that way. Krishna is the master of all yoga systems, karma yoga, gnana yoga, bhakti yoga. Hearing directly from Krishna through a bona fide spiritual master like Vyasa are alike. Arjuna was fortunate and could understand through Krishna directly. So Arjuna very fortunate. Krishna face to face he was there and he could hear the instructions. So by the grace of Vyasa, we are also able to hear Krishna directly, okay, through the Bhagavad Gita medium. So a spiritual master is the representative of Vyasa Deva. That's why when we do Vyasa Puja, right, we generally throughout the world they do it on they celebrate their Guru Maharaj or spiritual master's appearance day on Vyasa Deva. But here in ISKCON, they generally on the spiritual master's appearance day they do the Vyasa Puja, right? So that is why, according to the Vedic system, on the birthday of the spiritual master, the disciples conduct the ceremony called Vyasa Puja. 76. Rajan samsmritya samsmritya samvadam imam adbhutam keshavarjunayoh puna. What is this? Amicha muhur muhu. Keshavarjunayoh punyam rishyami cha muhur muhu. Krishna. Can you please read the translation, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. O King, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. So, hearing the instructions, Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra that he's so happy, so thrilled that when he was hearing the instructions between Krishna and Arjuna. So, hearing Gita, see, when we hear from a pure devotee, we also get the same reactions like how Sanjaya got or Arjuna got, right? We get the correct feelings and the correct understanding. Or if you hear from some other person, we don't get that understanding of the Gita. So hearing Gita from the right source directly from Krishna, one attains full Krishna consciousness, becomes increasingly enlightened, enjoys life with a thrill every moment. 77. Okay, let me read the shloka. तच्च संस्मृत्य संस्मृत्य रूपम अति अद्भुतम हरेह विस्मयो मे महान राजन हृष्यामि च पुनः पुनः. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. O King, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So let's see. Okay. So Sanjaya also by the grace of his Guru Vyasadeva, saw the universal form of Krishna. So now Sanjay is talking about that universal form. So he's so struck with wonder to see that universal form, which is spreading, which has no end, top or bottom or sideways. It is like filling the entire world. So Sanjaya, by the grace of his Guru Vyasadeva, saw the universal form of Krishna. So Lord Krishna had exhibited such a form to Arjuna only. Some great devotees, including Vyasadeva, also saw the universal form of Krishna. So he was one of the devotees of the Lord and a powerful incarnation of Krishna. So we know Vyasadeva is a powerful incarnation of Krishna. So Sanjaya remembered that wonderful form of Krishna and he enjoyed it repeatedly. So he remembered that universal form and he is taking bliss in that form. So 78. Yatra Yogeshwarah Krishno, Yatra Pardo Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you please read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme anchor, uh, archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So now Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra, so if you want victory or everything, so wherever Krishna and wherever there is Arjuna, so there will be what? Opulence. Right? There'll be victory, there'll be extraordinary power, morality. So that is my opinion. Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra was hopeful of the victory of his sons, assisted by Bhishma, Drona, and Karma, as they were all great warriors. Sanjaya was constantly watching the battlefield with divine vision graced by Vedavyas. His anticipation was against the blind king's overambitious, unrealistic hope. Right? So he could understand the Sanjaya being devotee of Krishna. So he could understand what the thinking of Dhritarashtra and the thinking of Sanjaya is different. So what Dhritarashtra was thinking, okay, because he had great powerful leaders like Bhishma, Dronacharya, they will definitely win. But Sanjaya he could understand because Krishna is on the side of the Pandavas. Definitely they will lose. He understood all that. Pandavas will win for sure. So his anticipation was against the blind king's overambitious, unrealistic hope. He frankly tells the king that victory can never be on the other side of Krishna, right? Because Krishna is not there on the other side, so that's why he's saying victory can never be on the other side of Krishna and Arjuna. That's why wherever there are Krishna and Arjuna, Sanjay is telling there, then only there'll be victory. Because on the other side Krishna is not there, so there'll be no victory. So he's clearly telling it out. So on the contrary, all good fortune is there on the side where Lord Krishna is present. Why? Because wherever Krishna is present, the mother, Lakshmi Devi is present, right? She's never away from her husband. So if Krishna is present, so all opulences are present. So Krishna is full of all opulences. So he is full in six opulences, right? Wealth, beauty, fame, renunciation, fame, all those things, six opulences. He's 100% full. His acceptance to become Arjuna's charioteer is also a display of his opulence. So Krishna is also the master of renunciation. So we can see how Krishna he became a charioteer, right? So Krishna is also the master of renunciation. The fight was actually between Duryodhana and Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira's victory was certain as Arjuna, graced by Krishna's mercy, was fighting for him. Okay, obviously, because Yudhishthira would win definitely because Krishna is there. Arjuna, graced by Krishna's mercy, was fighting for him. Okay, Sanjaya predicted that the power would be transferred to Yudhishthira. After gaining victory, Yudhishthira was predicted to flourish due to his virtuousness. So that's why Krishna he wanted to establish dharma by setting Yudhishthira as the king. He knew that the kingdom would flourish if Yudhishthira became the king again. He was because Yudhishthira he was righteous, pious. He was a strict moralist who never spoke even a single lie during his life. So entire Bhagavad Gita elaborates the process of religion and morality. As per verse, Man mana bhava mad bhaktaha, one must become a devotee of Krishna. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. The essence of all religion is to surrender unto Krishna. So final verdict of morality and religion is in the 18th chapter of the Gita. What is that? Sarva dharman parityajya. That means surrender to Krishna. So rather than realizing oneself by philosophical speculation and meditation, that done through full surrenderance under Krishna is highest and perfect. That's why Krishna is telling, see, don't use your brain, right? Philosopher, one who thinks that they're very intelligent, they read by themselves, or they speculate, oh, God could be like this, God could be like that. And meditation means what? Ashtanga yoga. They do all kinds of weird exercises. Right? All that is not required. Krishna is telling, just surrender to me. No, Ashtanga yoga is not needed, Jnana yoga, nothing. Just do bhakti yoga, and through that full surrenderance unto Krishna. That is the highest and perfect. So most important features of the Bhagavad Gita. So these things. So what is confidential? More confidential, most confidential. So confidential means following regulated principles, rituals of religion. So more confidential means meditation and cultivation of knowledge. Means what? See, for confidential means karma kanda. Okay, karma kanda, karma yoga, they're talking about confidential knowledge. So more confidential is what? The next stage, jnana, meditation, jnana yoga, and cultivation of knowledge. So that is jnana yoga. Most confidential is bhakti yoga. See, meditation means what? Ashtanga yoga. Cultivation of knowledge means jnana yoga. So that is more confidential. So the most confidential is surrender to Krishna. That is bhakti yoga and service and full Krishna consciousness. So actual truth is the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna. The absolute truth is realized in three features: impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna. So perfect knowledge of the absolute truth means perfect knowledge of Krishna. The Krishna is transcendental as he is always situated in his eternal internal potency. The living entity is manifested of his energy of two types. So eternally conditioned people who are in the material world, and eternally liberated are in the spiritual world. So the living entities are innumerable and are considered fundamental parts of Krishna. So material energy is manifested into 24 divisions, right? The creation is affected by eternal time, and it is created and dissolved by external energy. This manifestation, so they're giving a summary, like what are the important points. This manifestation of the cosmic world repeatedly becomes visible and invisible, right? So it becomes manifest and unmanifest. Like during the pralaya, it becomes invisible. And again, when creation takes place, it becomes visible. So the five principal subject matters discussed in the Gita are, all this is there in the introduction: the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ishvara, material nature, Prakriti, living entities, Jiva, eternal time, Kala, all kinds of activities, karma. So these are the five. So all dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Although superficially all the above five matters appear to be different, nothing is different from the Supreme. But the Supreme is always different from everything. So the first four matters are eternal, but karma is not eternal. So your karma can be changed by practicing Krishna consciousness. So that's why, see, when you go to an astrologer, if you show your hand before Krishna consciousness and after Krishna consciousness, there will be a lot of change. You may be seeing everything is different. Now, astrologer will say, oh, this was like that earlier. Now it has changed. So that's why don't depend on astrology, depend on Krishna. Okay, so the first four matters are eternal, but karma is not eternal. It will change. So the living entity in its original position is pure spirit. So living entities are the marginal energy of Krishna. Marginal, why? Because it can either take up Krishna consciousness or material consciousness. So that's why they're marginal. They can either be in the material world or in the spiritual world. So they may be in contact with either the external material energy or internal spiritual energy. As living entity belongs to the superior energy of the Lord, he has a little of independence. Using this properly, he comes under the direction of Krishna's protection. So, takeaway messages from Bhagavad Gita. So, we are spirit soul, Krishna is the personality of Godhead, and devotional service is the best process to attain perfection. Okay, so yeah, finally we are done, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.